Hello everybody and welcome back. My name's Maxi and we are surviving with Immersive Engineering. So what do you think to it behind me? Yeah, looks good, doesn't it? Looks good. I am pleased with it. I decided to go a little bit, probably looks a bit OTT, but yes, I did change the entrance to the water wheels. We'll go through a few changes that I've done, but I decided to go with something like this. I thought it might fit in with, or I think it fits into the actual rest of the build. Same with when I build a warehouse for the crusher. So yeah, I thought I quite liked it. Do quite like it down. So I have done a few changes. So let's have a wander down. So I've got some of these vines. Do get them from the fisherman strainer. So you do get vines from there, and it helps you make, I think I've always shown you to do mossy stone and mossy brick, or stone bricks I say. I have killed a few endermen again, so I did get a few bits of grass, so I did have to take all this up and grow it along. The reason why some of these aren't is because it's coarse dirt, so I could put a bit of grass down here and just grew it along here. So it did take a little bit, but I had a few things to do, so it didn't take too long to spread it about. But yeah, spread it about and then put this down again. I thought it makes it look a little bit more rustic. Let me know what you think to it. Changed a few blocks in, and again just to make it a little bit rustic. I suppose if you had chiseling bits in the pack, I could have made the stone, make it a bit more worn, wear and tear. Lots of things you could do, but this is the basics, just normal Minecraft. As you can see, I've also got my second wheel up and running now, so I've now got the two. So let's have a look up here now. So yeah, all done up here now, all sealed in. I've used a bit of black stained glass. That's so I thought I'd do that. I've changed these around, so I've done a little bit of changing around, but yeah, I'm pleased with it. I hope you all like it. Please let us know any other ideas and what have you. To get the cracked stone, by the way, you just shove that in a furnace, just a normal brick, shove it into a furnace and it will convert it into cracked stone. Let's have a quick look just to show you. So cracked stone brick, just smelt it into a furnace, that's all it needs, and you get 0.1 of an XP. Okay, so I have been busy. I have now crushed up all my ores. I did have a bit more iron, but I've turned that into iron ingots. Just use that, so I've got no more ores left, except I do have uranium ore. That's one thing I do still have left. So yeah, there will be a few changes around here, moving this about. But we're done for in here at the moment. Alright, so we got our crusher up and running, so there is a few things that I want to do today just to help out again with the rest of Immersive Engineering. So I've got a few things in here. I don't think we're going to get through everything in here, but we will definitely get through quite a bit of it. If you're wondering what the wool and the sticks are for, well, this is 10.2, so we can make banners. So at some point, whether we get a chance to do today, I will make some banners, because I think it could do with a little bit of a touch, like on top of these. We can stick some banners up there, so I'll have to get some dirt and put up there. There is some walls, which I think could perhaps do with a bit of decorating. When today we are playing Minecraft. So yes, anyway, right. Let's get on to the job in hand. Right, so what we're going to do today, well, I want to build a couple of more machines that are going to help me. I will probably build more, because we've got this 1 million IF, and it's going to waste, because I'm not as if I'm smelting massive amounts all the time. But I've got a connection here, and I can use that connection to help me with some other bits that I wish to use. So what are we going to build today? Well, I was thinking about doing this, but I might do that in the next episode, so I'm going to use these down the bottom here for the time being, and if we need to we can go up to the top row. So we're going to use the bottom row here. Now engineer blocks we've already used, so it is a multi-block that we're going to be building, and we're going to be building 2 of them. Okay, so what are we going to be building? Well, let's go from the beginning, and we're going to go to the metal press. Now if you notice in my toolbox we've got our engineer's hammer, which has got a bit of used durability, and we've got our wire cutters. Now the wire cutters are still useful to snip certain wires if we wanted to, rather than just destroy them, and the hammer obviously allows us to make our multi-blocks. However, when we turn them into, and if I just go into Immersive Engineering itself, so where are we looking? Is it on here? No. Yeah. So we can put some of our ingots, or turn some of our ingots into plates. So all of these, and we can turn some of them plates into the wires. So like copper, electrum, aluminium, and steel. And like I said, it does put a bit of durability on these, and I don't want to sit and create and make them all the time. So what do we need to help us with that? So what I'm going to make is a metal press. This is what we're going to do today. I was going to do the improved blast furnace, but I think I'll do that in the next episode. But the metal press is one of the things we're going to do, and this is what the metal press looks like. If you've ever played Immersive Engineering, it's not much difference to what it was in 1.7.10. So it's fairly straightforward. So the metal press is an automated way of shaping metal. It uses a high pressure piston to press a mould onto an ingot, forming it into a plate, rod or other metal components, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. The structure is created as shown above to form the multi-block, the piston from an engineer's hammer. So you hit the piston with an engineer's hammer. So that's what we need. So we need 2 steel scaffolding. We also need 1 engineering block, 1 piston, 2 conveyor belts, and a heavy engineer's block. So I've already made the 2 and the 2, so we've got those. We're going to need these because we're going to need some conveyor belts, and can't have enough conveyor belts because at the end of the day a lot of my stuff is going to be conveyor belts, because conveyor belts are ace. Yes, they are good, as you've seen over there, and there's going to be conveyor belts running around everywhere around here, so yeah, can never have enough. So let's make the conveyor belts. This should give me 16, alright, more than enough that I need, but we can use them throughout the builds, like I said. So we're going to need 16, so we've got our 2 there, that's them there. The other thing we're going to need to make is we need a piston for each of the for the actual build itself. Let's go back to the book. So we need a piston for itself. So if I just play that and then pause, go now. Right, so that tells us how to do. So we need a piston, and we also need a heavy duty block. And I've made the 2 wrong thing. It's fences I've made, and I want scaffolding. Look at that. Need 2. How many more do we need? Recipe to make 2 of those. I need some steel. Oh, yes, it's going to be expensive, this. Do I need? How many do I need? See, this is where it gets expensive, you see. I think we can get more out of doing it, so let's just do those for the time being. So 1, 2, 3, and we should get 6. That should be more than enough. Happy with that. Let's shove that back in there. Let's put that in there. Let's go back to the book. So it says 2 engineer blocks, 1 piston, 2 conveyor belts, steel scaffolding, and I like about it is that it's got the ticks there as well, so you can see it's got ticks there, I've got there. So just left is just the piston and the heavy engineering block. So if we look at the heavy engineering block, which is this block here, heavy engineering block, and we go for the recipe for that, we're also going to need 2 ingots for that and an electrum ingot. So I think I've got some electrum in here, just 1 will do. So I am going to need to make 4 pistons in total. So that and that's my 4 pistons. I'm going to need 2 of them for my engineering stuff. So I've got 6 still. Let's get rid of these for a minute. No, let's shove them in there. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so we're going to need to make, let's have a look. So 2 of these steel components, so we're going to need 2 of those. I don't know why I don't just shift click them in. Right, so shift click them in, so we're going to need 2 of those. And then I should be able to make the whole thing. And lucky enough, we only need 1 for each build, so it's going to make us 2. So yeah, I can use the 2. Okay, so that's what we've got. We only need 2 of those. So let's. Does it say 2? How many do I need? 2 steel scaffolding. So I'm going to need 4. Yeah. Right. Let's put them back so I don't get mixed up. So I'm going to do this twice. So just going to need that. That is all we need. Let's get rid of that. So that is all we need. These 5 items. Let's just check the book again. So 6 items, 2 conveyor belts. That's what we need. Yes, get rid of that. 2 conveyor belts. Job done. Woohoo! Right, let's consult the book again. So we're going to need. This is quite easy. I'm not going to sit and do layer by layer. So we're going to need 2 scaffolding and the redstone. So let's just have a look at this. So if I do that and that. That and that. Is that going to give me enough space in there? Or could I actually bring them down 1? Let's bring them a little bit closer, I think. So I am going to build the 2 together, but right. So that is that. There is a reason why I've done it like this, I think. Yes, 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 yes. That should work, hopefully. Right, so we need 1 redstone block there. We then need. Let's have a look. I will. So let's. Yep. Now I believe that if I just plonk the pistons down like that, it doesn't really matter. So we just need the conveyor belts, and they need to go in the same right direction, like so. Now they do need to be going the right way. And last of all, a heavy block on there. So the conveyor belts do need to be going the same way, but the piston doesn't need to be facing down. So let's just, in fact no, we're going to need them. So if I just right click with that, there we go. So if you right click on the piston, it will turn the piston round, and once it's in position, haha, it turns it into that. Okay, now I believe, let's have a little wander up the top here, that the actual cables, connectors go to the top there. So we're going to need just 2 of those. Let's just get rid of you for a minute. So we're going to need 1 on there and 1 on there. Lovely. So that's that. We now need some cable. I thought I had some cable, unless I've used it all for whatever. But I did think I had some cable here. Obviously not. Let's have a look, see if I've got some cable about in these. Copper I've got. No, I do not have any more cables. Let's have a quick sleep. I must have used them all for when I did the rewiring for actually for the crusher. So let's have a quick. Let's just make 1 up. So let's make a set. So I'm going to need some of you. I'm going to need some electrum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is what I'm on about, so I need to turn them into plates. I'm also going to need to, and while I'm doing this actually, let's go for a bit of aluminium. Let's use that and some steel, because what else we need to do is once we've created them, we also need, so power is output through the top and the items through the conveyors obviously in the direction of movement. The lower middle block is the redstone control port. Right click it with an engineer's hammer allows you to invert the redstone control. Alright, so we can switch them on and off as and when we need to. But if we turn the steel into plates and then use a wire, we can actually change and actually produce metal presses, which is what we need. We need some of these molds. So we're going to need a mold of the string, the wire. The reason why I'm saying string is because if you don't think it's construction, yeah, it does look a bit like that. So we've got the wire mold, we've got the plate mold, and we've got the rod mold. There is a fourth mold, which is the bullet casing, but we'll have a look at that later. Which will come in handy when we start doing a bit more of the weapons. But I'm not going to go into that just yet. Let's have a bit of food. So, I might as well do some of these ingots. So we're going to turn these for... so let's do one. And turn that into that. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's turn them into that. So that can be our metal press mold. We also need to turn those into that. So I'm going to need to do one more of these and turn that into that, and then have that like so. And then the last one should be the rods, and we can use the rods for the aluminium for scaffolding. We can use them for scaffolding, so let's just turn those 4 into that as well. I should have done it actually with the actual machines up and running, but at least we've got the 3 molds. And as you see, I've only got the 2 running, but at least I can use them. But the rods, not going to use too much of those, but these, very simple to do. So we can have one put there and one there. That's as simple as that. You just right click on the bottom of the presses and that's the molds. What I might do is just do a little bit of, just all a bit fancy so I can remember which is which. So let's do 6 of you. I don't think I've got any already done. So let's do that. Put that there. So this one is going to be, so this is the plates, and this is the wire. Excellent. So let's shove you back into there. Right, we do have the rods, so let's just put this in here just for the time being. Let's also do the aluminium. Sorry about this. Just backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Key. Right. No, wrong one. So what I do need, let's use this one. Yep. That will do for them. So let's make 3 chests up. That would do. We're also going to have, so there's the iron, so we're going to need 10 of these, like so, and we're going to make 2 of them into hoppers. In fact, I might make a couple more chests, that'll probably be easier. So a little bit of a automated system, so just chuck it in and what have you. So you should be able to right click on both of those, put a chest on top of both of these as an input, and then what I'll do is I shall have these let's do it on there. Right, so that will go there. So let's just turn that around there. Same with this one, we'll have that feed into there. Then we will swap them around there. Let's then lovely, that way, chest there. Oh, look at that. So now we just need a bit of power. So let's put these into there like so. Let's not do that, let's do that. Put my conveyor belts out of the way. Let's have a bit of tidiness because I've got a bit of OCD. Right, so we can connect that one to that, and we should be able to connect that one to that one. So that should be power in there now. So let's put this away, so that's out of the way. Right, so one of the first things I'm going to do is Immersive Engineering has a, well, I won't say Armour, but it does have a full set of yeah, it is Armour, I suppose. Let's have a look at it and see if we can find it. There we go, look, see. It must be in here. Where is it? Engineer's toolbox, drill, ear defenders. We can make ear defenders if we don't want to listen to everything. Should be Faraday's. Where is his stuff? If anyone knows a bit like electricity and Tesla coils, don't know. Faraday had something to do with it. And basically we can make his armour. I thought it might be in there, shouldn't be in here. Basic wiring, no. Overviewing resources. It will be in the box somewhere. I'm not going to sit and look and waste time into here, but definitely is in here. Faraday's, but it should be in there. Faraday's, where is his stuff? Anyway, let me just show you. So if I shove them into there, we can watch the machine as it goes through. So we will now change all the aluminium. So I've got 24 blocks going into it, and because I've got the actual hopper there, it will actually just feed nicely, nice and slowly onto there, and go into our little system, and we should be starting on the plates there. Excellent. And I've got enough room if I wanted to do a third machine, which is possible because at the end of the day I do have majority of the stuff, so I might do that, and it shouldn't interfere too much with my lanterns, and I'll be able to feed that into this chest as well. So let's just wait for that. But yes, this Faraday stuff is, let's have a look onto here, is this stuff here, Faraday leggings, Faraday boots, chest plate and helmet. So it allows you to be protected with the Tesla coil, which again we will look at later, but the armour itself is not the greatest. It is the same as what I'm going to get for leather, but it looks a little bit better than leather. And as much as I do like the leather, and in fact if I go over here and have a look, I'm getting lots of leather. Now some of it I have destroyed, some of it I've got I've kept, but to be honest it's yeah, it's not the greatest. Depth strider inefficiency, lure. What books are in this one? Fire protection and knockback. Not the greatest, but yeah. What have I got into here? Not massive amounts. I thought it might be better with the gold, but it's not fantastic. Plenty of clay, plenty of wood. I've got plenty of food. Food is not a panic at the moment, so I'm not overly worried. As you can see, got quite a bit over there, got quite a bit here. Are we done yet? Ah, we're done. So that is the presses, ladies and gents. Saves a little bit on my weapons and also my tools themselves, so at least I haven't got to mess about with the tools. But first things first, let's get rid of this leather armour. It's getting dark again. So let's just get rid of this, and let's just put this all down here. So we get rid of that, that and that. Okay. Let's make our new one up. So we're going to want some leggings. We're going to want chest plate. We're going to want some boots, and we're going to want a hat. So there's the helmet, and there's the boots, and there you go. Now, F5, doesn't that look a lot better than leather armour? But like I said, it is still the same, so 3.5 like that leather armour was, but it is a lot nicer. Definitely, don't get me wrong, leather armour is great and it's good and it's basic and what have you, but hey, we're doing immersive engineering. We shouldn't need to be wearing leather. We should be wearing all the gear that we get with it. Now, what would else be nice would be jetpack. And it is feasible, a jetpack, alright, because we produce a lot of creosote oil, and creosote is flammable, so we could probably use that. So anyone who does who's good at modding or Java, perhaps it might be something to put in. Simply Jetpacks was a good mod, and it's in this, well, not as in my pack, but it is in 10.2. But it is only for Ender.io as far as I'm aware, although thermal expansion is now all up and running. But a lot of the mods are now going into 11.2, so 1.11.2. So yeah, but yes, got that now. Got some armour, which is good. Right, a few more machines, a few more things that are going to help us towards what we need to do. Now, so one of the things we also need to do is I need to get rid of this, and we need to turn it into, hang on, not that one, heavy machinery, the improved blast furnace. That is what we need to do. So there's nothing in here, nothing burning away, so we're just going to grab all of these. Now what I'm going to put in here, so it's not wasting it, because I don't want to put the improved one here, because there's a few little things that it needs to go with it. But we're just going to turn these into the reinforced blocks, and I'll show you how to do that. But before we do that, now I had to spare one of these for the coke oven, so you probably noticed in the corner there I have now got the 26 and the 1, which makes my 27, which was my spare one, because I've changed the ones that were out in the front here. So I am going to have 2 coke ovens. Like I said, you can use the creosote for other things. It is flammable. So yes, we will utilise that. So I'm going to give myself a couple of coke ovens, because I'm sick and tired of having to keep going in and out and what have you. So there's something I want to do a bit later on, rather than just keep filling these little tanks up here, the wooden barrels. So yeah, so improved. What do I need? Well, I need 27 of these, because to make the improved we need to use the blast bricks that we've already got, and we need to get steel plate. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted the presses up and running, because at the end of the day it's going to save on my hammer and the durability of it, and it makes it a lot easier. So if I just shove those into there, and while that's doing that, I'll just show you what else I've been doing over here. We've started to get a bit of food and that in here. So I've got a little bit of leather now, and a little bit of raw beef, so I think I'm going to be out of that. There was a lot more cows in here. It was quite noisy when I was in here before. So yeah, it's been a bit busy, just killing and culling things. So like I say, the farm is doing really well. Not as quick as I'd like it to do, but and especially when we start needing a lot of the stuff from the farm. So there is something which wasn't in the old 11.7, sorry, 1.7.10 version, but it is in the other versions. Now let's have a look at the power while we're doing. See, power, look at that. It's just not even 1,000. There. It's probably because it's being used, but it's just 16. Look at that. It's not. Power output is, or power on this is not massive. It's not massive at all. A little bit more to go. So, see, have a look at the time. I think we're nearly end of time, so I'm just going to get these plates done, and I'm just going to turn these into the reinforced. Alright, so they are, so we're ready to go in the next episode and start to improve our blast furnace. So we've got our steel plates, got our blast bricks onto there, and now we've got reinforced blast bricks. So now, and I think they look cool actually. I do like the textures on those, with the steel in the corners. So we've got improved, and that's what we're going to need to use for when we do the improved blast furnace, because steel production is really slow. Okay, so we need to improve that, because end of the day, as you've probably seen, heavy is a lot of steel, light is a lot of iron, and we are going to need on a lot of the builds steel scaffolding. We're going to need some steel fences. So yeah, there's a lot of steel involved in where we're going now as we go deeper into the book and using a lot more machines and making them bigger. Okay, so yes, steel is of the essence now, and so is resources, and that's something else what we need to look at as well. But nice and steady, nothing too quick and fast and furious. End of the day, I just wanted to get these presses up and running. I might, like I say, when I'm off camera, I might build a third one to do the last few bits, so the metal press, just so we can get not so much that, but at least the rods, one for the rods themselves. So I'm not, because at the moment to make the rods it is, I believe it is, let's have a look at that recipe, so it's two ingots make 4, whereas I believe it's the same ratio, 1 ingot, so you're not really gaining that much, but it just makes it a little bit easier, saves you having to repair or create an engineer's hammer again. So I suppose you are saving on a couple of ingots, some sticks and a bit of string. It's not a massive, but every little helps, as the saying goes. Right, well, that is me. I'm going to call that a night, and I shall bid you all farewell. But so you likely can't hear me now. So I hope you like the episode. If you do, please like and subscribe. I shall see you all in the next episode, and everyone has a good evening. Bye bye for now.